Hi, this is Zach Adcock and John Henderson. We'll be presenting Energy and Atmosphere Credit 5, Renewable Energy Production. Here are a few definitions to help provide context for this credit. A district energy system, or DES, is a central energy conversion plant and transmission and distribution system that provides thermal energy to a group of buildings. It does not include central energy systems that provide only electricity. A solar garden is a shared solar array or other renewable energy system with grid-connected subscribers who receive credit for the use of renewables using virtual net metering, also known as a community renewable energy system. Renewable Energy Credit, or REC, is a certificate corresponding to the environmental attributes of energy produced from renewable resources. Projects pursuing this credit are eligible for 1 to 3 points. This credit applies to new construction, core and shell, schools, retail, data centers, warehouses and distribution centers, hospitality, and healthcare. The intent is to reduce the environmental and economic harms associated with fossil fuel energy by increasing self-supply of renewable energy. Requirements. Renewable energy systems are used to offset building energy costs. The percentage of renewable energy can be defined as the equivalent cost of usable energy produced by the renewable energy system divided by the total building annual energy cost. There are two ways to find the building's annual energy cost required in this equation. The first option is using the value calculated in EA Prerequisite Minimum Energy Performance, option 1. The other option is to use the U.S. Department of Energy's Commercial Buildings Energy Consumption Survey database in order to determine energy cost and use. Credit is determined by the percentage of ownership or percentage of use assigned in the lease agreement. Table 1 displays the requirements to receive credit. All project types have the same standards with the exception of core and shell projects. This credit requires a 5-step process. Step 1. Explore opportunities for renewables. Determine what renewable resources can be found in abundance on your site. Examples include sunlight, wind, and water. Step 2 calls for a comparison of the requirements for renewable energy systems. Analyze the financial and physical requirements of each potential technology. It's possible that local funding and incentives can be a significant factor. Look into existing systems. Partnering with existing community projects can often be a feasible option. It's also an option that third-party systems may offer renewable energy solutions. Projects can also arrange to have a third-party own a system that provides service to the project. Step 3. Set the renewable energy target. In order to establish the required size of the renewable energy system, an estimate of the annual energy cost for the project is necessary. If modeling was used for EA Prerequisite Minimum Energy Performance, option 1, the annual energy cost should be based on the whole building simulation results. If a prescriptive path was used to achieve EA Prerequisite Minimum Energy Performance, option 2 or 3, then you must use the U.S. Department of Energy's Commercial Buildings Energy Consumption Survey, CVECS, for your estimate. To qualify for credit, the environmental benefits associated with generated renewable energy must be retained, or, if sold, purchased in an equivalent amount. Step 4. Design and specify system criteria. There are resources available to aid in planning and designing a renewable energy system, including software tools, which may be a helpful element in this step. The manufacturers require basic project information to perform their calculations. If pursuing EA Credit Enhanced Commissioning, discuss the commissioning of the system at this time. Step 5. Calculate the renewable energy cost contribution. Equation 1 is used to estimate the annual energy cost of the usable energy created by the renewable energy system, where usable energy is the output energy from the system minus transmission and losses. If your project is served by a district energy system, it is eligible to gain credit based on the percentage of its contribution. This contribution is found through equation 2. This process does, however, require additional documentation. This chart provides a visual representation of the credit's requirements. There are some things to keep in mind when pursuing this credit. Use web resources to understand the feasibility of renewable systems and consider factors like climate, infrastructure, wind patterns, and solar availability. There are additional requirements when working with a third party. This credit allows for the potential to use fuels produced off-site. Here are the requirements to do so. There must be a 10-year contract at minimum with the fuel provider. The contract has to include fuel and all renewable energy credits. If the renewable energy credits are not provided by the fuel provider, the project needs to purchase offsets for 100% of the renewable energy created for a minimum of 10 years.
There are numerous types of energy that can be used to receive this credit. These sources include photovoltaic, also known as solar power, as well as solar thermal, wind, biofuel, low-impact hydro, wave and tidal energy, and geothermal energy. Unacceptable sources of energy, specifically found under the biofuels category, include the combustion of municipal solid waste, forest biomass outside of sawmill residue, wood-coated materials that are hazardous if burned, such as paints, plastics, and laminates, and finally treated wood variants commonly found in construction. The credibility of renewable energy systems in a project is monitored via certificates and carbon offsets. These benefits are verified and tracked through renewable energy certificates, or RECs. Third parties are used to certify and quantify the actual amounts of energy that are produced both on and off-site. If a project falls short of these requirements for minimum renewable energy, they can simply purchase RECs to overcome the deficit. Carbon offsets allow the buildings to fund atmospheric carbon decreasing and removal initiatives such as reforestation, carbon sequestration, energy efficiency projects, and land use changes. A key component to this credit is not only having environmental benefits but financial incentives as well. Some ways that buildings can increase financial incentives are by selling RECs from the renewable energy they produce. Another possibility is that the project can earn rebates from utility companies, but this typically requires the sacrifice of RECs, which may in turn increase purchasing needs of RECs to meet minimum credit requirements. If selling electricity RECs, a project is required to purchase Green E certified RECs. If producing other energy than electricity, Green E climate certified RECs are required. Both RECs and carbon offsets are addressed further in the EA credit, green power, and carbon offset sections. To analyze the financial viability of renewable energy production, the equivalent cost comparison of renewable to utility purchased energy is required. This is done using either the virtual rate or using the utility tariff plus demand rates. For the virtual rate, a proposed building energy model will be used to account for consumption and demand. If using the Energy Information Administration's average prices, the virtual rate method is required. In the case where the actual utility tariff plus demand rates is used, calculations for savings from demand and consumption of utility companies' energy are required. Time-dependent utility use calculations are required on an hourly basis. For the various types of renewable energy outside of electricity, only yearly operating cost, value, and fees are required. We will now look at how to calculate the financial value of renewable energy incorporation into various types of building operations. Finding the percentage of renewable energy for a project with complete modeling data is easy. Simply find the yearly annual energy costs for both gas and electric. Then, using the virtual rate from the types of energy your building produced, find the total value of renewable energy created by your building. Finally, use the ratio of renewable energy generated to the total building energy costs. You are left with the percent of renewable that contributed to your building's function. For projects without energy modeling, you must find the total electricity cost, total gas cost, and the equivalent cost of usable energy produced. The electricity cost is found using the sum of electricity consumption for each type of space type times the cost of electricity. These energy statistics can be found in Table 2 to the right. The gas cost can be calculated using the same steps as were just used in finding the electricity cost. The equivalent cost of renewable is thus the amount of capable renewable production times the rate of the utility the renewable is replacing. Lastly, for projects connected to a district energy system, or DES, the equivalent cost is simply the value of the renewable energy produced at the DES times the amount of energy that was delivered from the DES to your building. In the figure below, you can see how district energy systems typically contribute to the energy grid of a community. Projects that are connected to a DES can claim on-site renewable if they document the EA prereq for minimum energy performance and EA credit optimized energy performance paths 2 or 3. If using path 1, no credit is earned for energy performance or as a connected building. Project cost offsets are dependent not only on the total energy from the DES, but also the quantity that is made of renewable energy. Total cost offset is the sum of these two factors. For building groups, all buildings can be documented as one building. However, the campus approach is not available for this credit. Required documentation for each renewable energy system configuration is shown in the table below. Zach and I thank you for watching our video on how to attain a renewable energy credit of LEED. Good luck on this week's quiz and have a great spring break.